you could say it's a talent of every toddler out there to execute an impressive and sometimes frustrating tantrum. While those emotional outbursts are normal, even expected, my next guest says parents can take steps to avoid them or at least keep things to a minimum. It's a 5-step approach. Dr. Joyce Sibbett is the owner of Dancing Moose Montessori School. She's here to share 5 tricks for taking down a tantrum. So we are going to get at the on-the-ground, in-the-moment solutions in just a little bit. But at the root of it, you say there is one primary tool that parents can really employ to help manage these emotions and these tantrums, if you will, and that is clear communication.
Clear communication, absolutely. As parents, as children know that their parents are listening, that they are important to their parents understand the need, that's when children are able to feel more comfortable. And Brooke, some of that can come from pointing. If children don't have the verbal skills, they can point to what they want. If children happen to have some sign language for a few things like more or milk or hungry, thank you, please, those kinds of things, those are all communication tools.
So signs, signals, cues, nonverbal cues that will not only be communicated by a young child, but hopefully heard, right, on the receiving end by the parent. So dialing back to those moments before a tantrum starts or escalates, you say that daily communication, that maintenance is important, even when a toddler is having a quote-unquote good day.
Absolutely. All the time. If your toddler knows that you are listening and you are communicating and you understand needs, your toddler is going to be more comfortable in and more trusting in you.
Oftentimes it seems those tantrums, those emotional outbursts happen in public, right? Don't they always? When you're at a party or you're at the store, and you say that communication comes into play, especially before these public scenarios.
Yes, if you can set up the expectations, let your child know this is where we're going to the store. Here are all the things that we're going to buy in the store. And when we finish buying all of our groceries, we are going to come home and have a wonderful lunch. So when you set it all up, the whole scenario, your child is pointing at, I want this. Remember what we said we're going to buy? These are the things we're going to buy. And that helps give the child a little sense of control.
You're treating them like many adults, really, that control, that communication. Let's step into the actual moment. So a tantrum is happening, things are starting to escalate. First step, you say, is to determine what needs aren't being met.
Yes, and so if your child and you're walking somewhere, your child is suddenly just frustrated and you can see that frustration.
I mean, never my child, Joyce.
Of course.
Yeah.
We'd like to hope our children never do it.
I'm kidding.
But getting down to their level.
Yes.
And looking them into the eye and being able to say, oh, I see, Brooke, that you look hungry. It looks like you're hungry. And you know what? We're going to walk to the car, and I have a little treat for you there as we go that you can eat on the way home.
So the physical position of the parent
position,
matters.
yes, you've always got to get to the child's level, get to that eye contact. You don't want to talk down to the child because that doesn't feel the same. When you come in a soft, calm voice, and it's got to be calm, your child is much more likely to listen and respond.
You're restating. That's interesting to me because that's a technique that marriage therapists tell couples to use all the time in heated arguments, is to kind of parrot back or repeat what they're hearing their partner saying. So in that soft voice you talked about, that lower tone, you're repeating their need, or you're stating out loud what they need in the moment.
Yes, and that's such a calming feeling for a child who doesn't have the child doesn't have a lot of vocabulary to express themselves. It really helps that you can do that.
And the 5th and final step, you say, is to offer a choice.
Yes, choices are wonderful, and sometimes they're simple. Your child is feeling a little hungry or tired, and you can give the choice, well, we need to leave the sprinkling pond right now at the park, but you can sit on the chair or you can go for a walk with me. So it can be a simple choice, or it can be a boundary choice. That might be something when you're in the restaurant, you've told your child, got to have a soft voice, but your child's in the restaurant escalating, and that's when you can say, oh, remember, we have to have a soft voice. You can sit here with your soft voice, or we can go outside and sit on the bench until you
So there's the boundary.
Down. There's the boundary.
This or that.
And you've got to follow through, and it stays calm, and if you do have to take your child out, anticipate where you can go that's comfortable, and then sit there with your child and wait.
Wait it out. I did think an important point looking over your notes was that at the tantrum level, when things are in the full-fledged, tears, snotting, all of it, you're really not going to be able to reason with any child at that point.
You can't reason, and so you let it go, but you're not angry either. You're ignoring. You're letting your child, even the touch can be there. We'll talk when you can feel calm.
You're maintaining your composure as the parent.
Yes.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Absolutely.
But great advice. This 5-step formula, I think, will help a lot of parents out there, myself included. Thank you,
Awesome.
Joyce.
Thank you.